Okay, hello children, adults, and all my friends. I hope you are happy to join again or before going to bed program. Please brush your teeth and get ready for continuing the mysteries of subwoofer placement. So this is my feeble attempt at an animated show for adults, and here we go. So last time we got to this scenario where we observed what your room is doing to the sound, and that's how the physics work out, that below a specific frequency defined by the size of your room, then the bass will be amplified up the wazoo. And actually, however, this is not a uniform thing. That amplification is basically the total energy defined by your room. You remember at the previous episode when I was drawing those waves, the half wave and the full wave in your room, how that sound, how that forms, and then you see those zones that form where the pressure is the highest for that specific frequency. And those high pressure zones are the ones that are providing the increase in the energy, and that's where the increase happens. So basically when we are going down in the frequency, and you put your microphone at a specific spot, and now here comes the crazy part of it. So your room behaves different at each physical location. So that's why placing your speakers and placing your listening position is so critical, because in every position, like let's say your speakers are here, you have positioned them here, and they are throwing their sound at you. And your couch, your listening position is here, and those are here your happy feet, right? And or your shoes on or whatnot, or your cozy or whatever. So you are right here, and in this position where your ears are located, your room behaves very different compared to your position here, or the position at the edge of your couch, or even if you move it back just a little bit, or you move it in front a little bit. And all of these positions, whichever spot you pick, those bass frequencies that will be preferentially amplified by your room are different. And also it's not just single bass frequencies, but the addition of bass frequencies. So let's say that you're at your optimal position, maybe you are getting 82 hertz, 61 hertz, and 43 hertz at a very high level, but you get cancellation at, let's say, 65 hertz and 57 hertz, like a total cancellation. You are hearing nothing. And now you move back there, and now at this spot you are getting very strong 65 hertz, very strong 57 hertz, but you are not getting 82 hertz, and you are getting some 61 hertz, and your 43 hertz is mediocre at best, but you are getting, let's say, like 38 hertz, pretty good. So there is not a direct relationship between how the frequencies will change, and that's because it's so complicated, as there are three dimensions, acoustic dimensions, that specify the loudness of each frequency at each specific spot, and that spot also changes by the height. So if you notice that if you slouch down your couch, or maybe you just lay on the floor, then it's very different. The bass is very different as when you are on the floor just sleeping or relaxing, or you are sitting in a chair, or you are standing up. The bass response you get is very different, and that's because you are getting different room nodes. And that's why I do not have any sort of preference for using the microphone and a software setup to get your perfect position, because it's going to find, to map your room in only one specific spot. If you put your microphone to, let's say, even just 5 inches to a different spot, then your microphone will measure something completely different. And in that way, when you use a microphone to predict or measure a listening setup, it will totally optimize your system balance for that single position without any knowledge for the positions surrounding it. So you will have zero control over the width of the dimension of your sweet spot. And when you use your ears to find the sweet spot for your loudspeakers or the placement of the subwoofers to aid them with their bass response, in that case you will be the one who is in control of how tight you want to make the sweet spot, and also in control of how it works with the material you are listening to, because you are going to listen to music and it will have notes in it like C1 or D2 and so on. But when a microphone measures it, it will measure in hertzes, and it if you if it finds that your room works really well with 57.15 hertz, it will tune the response to work around that parameter. But there's no 57.15 hertz. Let's say if the closest musical note around it are like 56.5 hertz and 59.2 hertz, then it's not much of use for you that the system has tuned it to somewhere that is off tune. So that's where the musicality, that's where the magic will be lost if you use the auto-tune system. Then it will be the exact replica of auto-tuning, just like the auto-tune screws up the recorded voice of a singer. That's what the auto-tune does to your room, because basically when you are using the microphone, the associated the loudspeaker placement choice for your system, that's auto-tuning your room. So I hope this will sink in a little bit. And I'm going to just end our good night animated fairy tale for today. And brush your teeth, drink up your favorite drink. If it's tea, I really support it. I'm a big tea drinker myself. I'm really into Chinese tea ceremony, and I also have a friend who is into Japanese tea ceremony, but that's like really involved and much more about the ceremonial aspects, while the Chinese tea ceremony is more about how to get the maximum flavor out of your tea. And that's kind of like my channel. It's like I'm really into how to get the maximum out of your audio experience. So I would really recommend to try out Chinese tea ceremony, and that is a phenomenal way to supplement your audio experience, to make it a little bit more all around without busting your liver. So have a wonderful night, and it is also suitable for children, right? But don't drink too much tea before going to sleep, because you are not going to fall asleep, and there's school tomorrow. And that's true for us as well, because there is school tomorrow for us, and with the next episode, and I'm going to talk about when to place your subwoofer in the corner and when not. Bye bye.